Hello, D&Ders, RPGers, Game Masters, and such. This right here is a tutorial video. I haven't done one of those in a while, and the reason why is I've been using Schmeppy for a while. Started using it, I think it was 2 years ago, January 9th, 2021. Used it for a while, then kind of stopped using it, and then I was using like a tablet, and then just kind of drawing things. That was fine for a while, and then I said, well, let me go try out Schmeppy again. And now that was like, oh, you had to get a subscription. And then I started using it. I said, wow, they've really upgraded this. This is John Sullivan who put it together. And so I said, yeah, I'm going to buy this. This is a good thing. So me, I play online D&D, and if you watch any of my videos, you can see some of the stuff I'm doing with my friend Mike a lot of times. And the concept is I try to make it simple and fast. I don't like working with a lot of the tools. A Roll20 has a lot. You can do everything with it. You have the video, you have the dice roll, you have all this stuff. But I use Rolls, ORG. I think that's the thing I'm using. And the other one is Google Meets, because I actually bought it for work because I'm a teacher. I make videos with it and put stuff online on YouTube. And then I'm using this a lot of times for my gaming, and I'm really switched more to using it all the time compared to building all the web page stuff I used to do. And the reason why is it's really nice. From my point of view, I don't want to spend a lot of time trying to figure out all the tools. I want it to do what it's supposed to do. I want the tokens to be very, very simple, because the more simple they are, it leaves more for the imagination. And I'm going to give you a small tutorial on how to use this thing. And you might want to try it out. I think they give like a grace period you could try for several days and see if it's something you like. If you play online, it may be the way to go. First thing I will show you is that it's got the player viewer, so you can see what it looks like after you build something, right? To build like a thing on the fly, some people like to do that. You just simply hit the thing called fill, and you can grab and then drag across, and you could make your whole thing like yay, let's say. But there's another way you could do it. You hold the shift key down while you're holding it, and it gives you the measurements, because I want to make a hallway that's 10 feet by 100. Right? So it'd be like that. Okay. Each block being 5 foot. Okay. Because that's my measurement. You could also change that, make this work 10 feet if you wanted to. Right. So then if I did that, and let's say I want to erase the fill, this is one of the cool things. You hit Alt Shift and then pull, and then you erase it. Now I'm going to make a 20 foot by, I'm going to make this 200 feet now, because now it's on 10-foot increments. And one thing you got to keep in mind is when you put your token in, right, your token's going to take up one of the squares, and you might not want that. Usually 5 foot is standard, so you might want to pull that back down to 5 feet, right? Or you can make it 1 foot. It depends on how you game, right? So this has a lot to do with when you start using the measuring token. Let's going from one guy to the other. If it's 5 feet away, it tells you it's 120 feet. Can you hit him with a bow? Sure, right? Otherwise, you'd have to double if it was 10 feet. So to get rid of anything, you just hold the Alt button. And let's say I'm in the token. I hit token. It highlights, basically it dims. And you click it. It goes away by holding the Alt key, right? Let's take a look at this guy, right? If you have the token on there, you could double click the guy, and let's give him a name, Dale, right? I'm going to put another guy in here, Fizz, okay? And they're going to walk through the module. This is something you want to do is when you get to this point, you can determine that you want to give more of a fill. Let's say they're going to come here. I'm going to put let's say I'm going to put put a room here at the end, okay? To do that, you just grab, and let's say I want to make a room. I can make it 10, 20, 20. How about 20 feet by 40 foot at the end? I want to put some baddies in here. So this is the cool thing about how quick you can build this. And I double click it, make it, okay, I got 1 goblin, 2 goblins, 3 goblins. So as far as speed goes, you could drop tokens in. I like to number them as I go. So I'm attacking number 1. And you want to give this to your player. All you have to do is grab the URL up here at the top. And I put it in the Google Meet chat. They click it, they're automatically a player. I'm the only one subscribed, so that's how that goes. All right. Now I could show you some of the maps I've been working on. Like I have a school group. They do an elective called White Star, because I'm a bunch of kids I teach middle school math. They're quite into it, so I might want to save. I'm going to call this one demo. We'll come back to this. Okay. And let's take a look at one of my games. This is called White Star. This is let's go back to Yeah, let's get my archive games. Here's White Star Map. I'm going to unarchive this because this is one default view. This is when we have a group of kids playing. So if I click this thing, you can take a look at this. Okay. The nice thing about this clearly is when I zoom in, okay, these are robots that got knocked out. These are the name of my players. And actually, when I'm presenting this when I'm playing in a classroom, makes a whole lot easier because they can see a map and they don't do this. Now, when I say they see a map, see that's clouded, wall of fog. This is what they're really seeing. If I zoom out, you can see a better thing. I have a separate Chromebook. This one's only got 4 gigs of RAM, right? 4 gigabytes of RAM, and it's got very small storage. But the idea behind it was like I'm doing Schmeppy off this. It works perfectly fine. And this is what I'm presenting to the class with a separate Chromebook. And it works splendidly for doing something like this. Some people want to do it on one screen, that's fine. But once you log in on this computer, it's you can't do a split login type thing on a computer. It's just kind of weird. Unless you open up another tab, maybe. I don't know. But I just find it easier just to have a different one so I can look at it, move this, move that, open things up as we go. Let's go back to the demo so you can take a look at a couple more things we were working on. So if I go back to my demo, right, this is all this going on. If I want to clear my screen of what I've done, I go back to fill, right, and I'm going to go Alt and Shift, and then boom, everything's gone. I go to token. If I hit my Alt button, I can click and delete my dudes, okay? And let's say, I have a fill down here or something still here, Alt, fill, boom, he's gone. This is the cooler features that John Sullivan, he's creator of Schmeppy, I think. I don't know if anybody else working with him. They put this thing called background image. And God, this is so nice, right? So I click on anything I want. And I just bought the Wyvern song, and I'm grabbing an image, the Dreaming Caldera, I guess I might say. I don't know. If I click this thing, it's automatically going to try to figure out how to make the columns, how to make the thing fit, which is kind of nice, right? Look where Fitz is. He takes up an entire box. And I might not want that. I kind of want more space for the characters. You just hit grow twice. It's kind of nice the way to put this. Hit grow twice. Boom. Now he's taking up like just a portion of it. I might like that, right? So at this point, you click on that, you come off of this, and you can just grab and drag it and put these guys where they want, say in the beginning of the thing, right? Go back to my token. Once again, I move Fitz and Dale where they need to go to actually start the adventure, okay? And like you saw before, this is the player view, looks exactly like the GM view till I stick it into, Fog of War. Like I said, there's a lot out there to choose from. This personally is the one that seems to work for me the best because I tried a couple. I didn't really like them. I mean, everybody's like, well, how about Owlbear Rodeo? But I know it's free. That's a big thing. I'll pay for something that I think works best for me. So I'm going to hit Fog of War. I'm going to cover up this whole map. Okay. Now I'm going to zoom into where I was playing, right, with these guys. And then I'm going to open up the area by hitting, it's still on Fog of War. I hit Alt and Shift, and I'm going to take a look at just my guys here, like this. And then when I hit View Player, of course, it's only going to show what I want them to show, right? You could preload all this stuff, okay? And that's kind of the cool thing about this stuff, and save it. I think the one thing I didn't like about Owlbear Radio is that they're not using any cloud storage space. All the stuff is actually saved on your computer, but I kept losing it or deleting it. I don't know what I was doing. It's just, I made things difficult for me. I like the simplicity of just little tiny tokens too. Measuring device is nice. The laser is nice if you're trying to point to certain things, if they're watching on the screen. All these things are convenient tools. Once again, it depends on what you want. I use a different dice roller because there's no dice roller with this, which is fine with me. This is what it's used for, okay? Hopefully you found this interesting. Leave some comments if you want me to expand on something. I can make a part 3. I know part 1 is 2 years old. This is part 2. And so hopefully you found it interesting and worthwhile, and give me a holler.